The recent attack on Manchester in the United Kingdom demonstrates the depths of the evil we face with terrorism. The NATO of the future must include a great focus on terrorism and immigration, as well as threats from Russia and on NATO's eastern and southern borders. These grave security concerns are the same reason that I have been very, very direct with Secretary Stoltenberg and members of the alliance in saying that NATO members must finally contribute their fair share and meet their financial obligations. But 23 of the 28 member nations are still not paying what they should be paying and what they are supposed to be paying for their defense. This is not fair to the people and taxpayers of the United States. And many of these nations owe massive amounts of money from past years and not paying in those past years. Over the last 8 years, the United States spent more on defense than all other NATO countries combined. If all NATO members had spent just 2% of their GDP on defense last year, we would have had another $119 billion for our collective defense and for the financing of additional NATO reserves. We have to make up for the many years lost. 2% is the bare minimum for confronting today's very real and very vicious threats. If NATO countries made their full and complete contributions, then NATO would be even stronger than it is today, especially from the threat of terrorism. And I never asked once what the new NATO headquarters cost. I refuse to do that. But it is beautiful.
We don't know exactly what they're looking at Jared Kushner for, except that they're particularly interested in a series of meetings he has in December with some Russians, and he also sends a deputy to one meeting with a Russian. What this means is that law enforcement is interested in him, but that doesn't mean that he necessarily has done anything wrong or that at the end of the day he will be charged with a crime. It just means that he is sort of a key part of law enforcement's investigation, and that's really important because of his role in the White House. This is taking it very close to President Trump. In some ways, there's no one closer to President Trump than Jared Kushner, who's not only sort of an influential guy in terms of foreign policy and a whole bunch of things, but he's the president's son-in-law. So in that respect, this is getting very, very close to the president. And also, as with all revelations on Russia, on this investigation, on the firing of Jim Comey, this is a big distraction for the president. I mean, it's another thing that I think people are going to be focused on instead of the policy things the president wants to do. Bob Mueller, the former FBI director, is now in charge of this thing. He's brought over 2 lawyers from his firm, but at least for right now, there are a lot of the same investigators working the matter. That could shift. I mean, he now is in charge of this. He still answers up to the Deputy Attorney General, but it's Bob Mueller's investigation.